are live. Let me tweet out the show to the people, to the good people. Page is popping. Everything's popping. Let me
Tweets are
see.
popping.
Let me share it out to the people. Here we go. All right. Let y'all join in. Welcome. It's your boy, Mr. Roddy 404 himself. I'm here with my dog, Sam. Took a couple weeks off, you know what I'm saying? Had to, you know, take a break from the monster that is college football, but we're back. You feel me? Pay for play, week 14. Last show of 2023, bro. I was about to say 2024 because it already feels like it's 2024, but couple more days. We got some good ones on tap for y'all today. So please, if you're joining us on the Twitter, go over to YouTube so we can see you guys' comments. We can post it on our page or on the stream, should I say, live, so y'all can, you know what I'm saying, get right into it. We can see what plays y'all liking today. Day full of college football. We'll get going on our first matchup quickly because obviously it starts in less than an hour. But Sam, my brother, how you feeling? How was your Christmas? It's been a long time since I seen you, man. How's everything been?
It's weird going a couple weeks, but it was a good Christmas. Won a Heisman since we last spoke. That was nice. That was fun.
How about that?
Yep. I've been deep in Hogwarts Legacy since Christmas. The wife and I did like a Harry Potter marathon before Christmas, and then she got me Hogwarts Legacy for Christmas. So it's been that nonstop. Not a whole lot of football going on in the life, but now that we got some actually entertaining matchups coming, it's good to get back in the grind.
Yeah, I was just saying this to you the other day, bro. Like, I hate this new college football era. I'm about to sound like an old man, y'all, but like, I want to see everybody play, bro. Like, I don't, yes, there's the fear of injury and all of that. I get it, but I want to see people play, man. I want to see each squad's at full strength so we can, really test out some of these matchups that are, not able to be played in the regular season, obviously, because that's what bowl season is about. It's about seeing which conference is superior, talking shit. We won't mention anything about Ohio State. Sorry, Jones, if you're watching. That was, yeesh. Yeah, that was not good.
That was great as a Missouri money line and Missouri spread better.
Oh, look,
I
had the spread too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If y'all hating, I'm sorry. We had to do what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? But Mizzou, bro, I've never been proud of a school that's not my own like I have been with Mizzou, just because of like it's hard to do, bro. It's hard to do at that school. Coach Drink, he's kind of a maniac at sometimes, but like, I gotta respect the guy because you can tell his guys love him. Like that is one thing I can say. Do you agree?
Yeah. He's turning that around. He's got them going. Should be really in playoff contention if they keep this going. They got a lot of people coming back next year. Great ads out of the transfer portal so far. They're kind of themselves up to be that number 2 team out of the East, and that's a good spot to be in a 12-team playoff world. So I know we're kind of doing away with divisions here soon in the SEC. So just being in that kind of top 5, I feel like you should be right on the line of playoff contention, and they're in a great spot. They're building what they're building is sustainable, I feel. It's not kind of a splash in the pan type of run that they're on. And they're going to be fun to watch next year. They got They got a good defense, good defensive coordinator. I love Blake Baker. He really turned around some linebackers at LSU after a couple horrible seasons, so I think he's a great coach. The offense struggled at times, but Ohio State's defense was really good. Like, even LSU beat Missouri, so I'm gonna kind of talk shit about Ohio State a little bit right now. Like,
oh god,
even LSU found a way to beat Missouri in Como. So I hate to say it, but
truth is the truth.
I do want to ask you, like, the conference thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people that everyone talks about that is like SEC, SEC? Who does that? Do you know anybody that does that?
No, I don't. I mean, I only hear it at bowl games because, obviously when we
It's
face
probably the
other
fans of like the fans of the team chanting SEC.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's one of those new things. I don't
if
know.
Sorry, but if Georgia wins in the playoff, I'm not going to be here like SEC, SEC. Like, that's just not me. It's you don't want teams that you're directly competing against to add more ammunition against you. Like,
Yeah.
Alabama and Texas, you will never see me rooting for them this weekend. Never.
No.
Unless it's for money, you will not. Like, I'm going to bet on Alabama tomorrow, and I'm going to be rooting against them. Like, that's just how my mind works. I cannot let that old man have more ammo.
A good hate bet. A good hate bet is always good, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Sometimes you need that. But we'll get it going since, like I said, we got games starting at noon. Again, we're giving away $100 when we hit 1K followers. So if you're on this stream and you're not following us at Pay for Play on Twitter, you got to be subscribed to Win the Day TV as well so we can get you that $100. So please, please, please follow us, and subscribe. If you want to see your comment up here like Chad's is, please join us on YouTube, and we will put you up here. All right. Well, we got the Peach Bowl down here in Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of Penn State fans, Sam. A lot of Penn State fans in the city, which I'm not really surprised. They have a huge fan base. Not, totally shocked, but more than I expected, I think. But they are facing Ole Miss. Of course, Ole Miss ended the season kind of sputtering, not, the best, but it is what it is. I think that, ultimately, they had a season that isn't disappointing, to say the least. But they're going up against Penn State, who, I mean, let's be honest, they've had the same season for the last 3 years. They start off really good. You know what I'm saying? James Franklin looks like coach of the year for the start of the season. And then, once it comes time to play Michigan, and once it comes time to play, once it comes time to play Ohio State, it's like, it's not happening. So
it's like they're only playing on one side of the ball, and it's defense.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just don't even run the offense out there. Just like start Ohio State back at the 20 or something, so we can watch the three. So we can save ourselves the 3 and out. Like, they're almost as inept as Iowa on offense.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not where you want to be.
Yeah, no, not at all. So they're headed up in this matchup in the Peach Bowl. I'll read up a couple of injuries. Well, really, everybody's playing for the most part. I don't see a lot of opt-outs. What did you say?
I think Chop opted out, didn't he?
Yeah, Chop did, which, it's expected. But when you're looking at this matchup, bro, can Penn State get enough offense in order to compete with Ole Miss? Because in my personal thinking, yes, Penn State does have a really good defense, but Kalen's obviously not playing. He's going to the draft. So how are you feeling about this matchup with Ole Miss?
I think this is a huge game for Ole Miss. You've seen what they've done in the transfer portal thus far. To be able to win this game and set yourself up going into next year with all these transfer portal additions and new defensive ads and really almost all your offense coming back. Like, you got Dart, you got all these, you got a stable of receivers, you got Judkins coming back for a final year. It is a huge momentum game to get their season started right next year. Like, there's still value in bowl games like this to get the trajectory of your program going forward. Like, they've done all the right things so far in terms of building for next year. Now they need to set themselves up. And to your point, I don't know if they can score with Ole Miss. I don't know that I don't know what I'm going to expect from Penn State's defense with Chop out, Kalen out. Manny is gone. So, like, I just don't know what I'm going to get from Penn State. And for that, I don't know why the spread is the way it is. I'm sure Penn State will get a couple plays on offense with Aller. They're going to want to try to springboard him going into next year, same way that Ole Miss kind of wants to springboard into next year as well. But yeah, I'm on Ole Miss spread plus 5.5 and money line. Dogs are barking this morning.
Yeah, look, dogs are really barking this morning because I'm feeling the same way with you. I just don't think if this look, I think Penn State could get up early with running the ball, but I think Penn State secondary can be had without Kalen, to be honest with you. And if they're able to pass the ball well, I think that's a good look for them to win this game. Now, the one play that I am really liking in this game, obviously, is our boy Jackson Dart. Now, had an up and down season like we had been saying all year. He'd have a couple of good games, then have a couple of stinkers against, the better teams. But his passing yards are at 212.5. And they started off at about like 200. So that rise in passing yards, in my opinion, is where I want to go. So that'll be my official play. I got Jackson Dart over 212 passing yards. You can take it up if your book allows you to. I like him in the 220 range, bro. Like, I really do think that he's going to get the ball out quickly. I think, obviously their skill position players are going to have a lot of space to operate, and I think that's going to be good for them. So I got Jackson Dart over 212. I got it at minus 130, a little juice. So if you want to use it as a parlay piece, you can. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm with you, man. Like, if I had to lean anywhere spread-wise, I'd be going to Ole Miss, man. Like, I don't see a lot in this Penn State team that is just making me, like, truly believe in them. It's at 5.5 now on my book, so.
Yeah, me too. That's what I locked it in at before the show. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's just I don't know what I'm going to get from Penn State, and I know Ole Miss is trying to set themselves up going into next year, and I think Lane's always good for some fun gadget plays in these kind of games, and with the skill positions they have, I think they're going to hit some big plays, and I just don't see where Penn State gets that.
No, and I mean, I was driving past their bus before, I guess, their media availability yesterday. I almost yelled at Drew Aller that you're a scrub for selling my money so many times on this beautiful college football season. Our guy Cornwall swore he was the second coming of Tom Brady, and we saw what happened with that. So, yeah, never really.
He also said Oregon -9. So,
yeah. Cornwall is fade material. If you know about Cornwall, and if you're watching Cornwall, you're fade material, brother. But we love you still. So anything else on this one, or are you all good?
All good.
Yeah, all good. It should be a good game, though. I'm interested to see what happens with that. Now, let's come to Miami, Florida, where I wish I personally was. I'm not, okay? And for everybody talking about the bag collection in the back, we're getting to the bag, baby, okay? That's why I got all the bags in the back, all right? We're getting to the bag today, all right? Last show of the year, I said we got to get to the bag. All right. So we got the bags in the back. Anyway, we're going and playing in the damn we wish we should have been in the College Football Playoff Bowl. I mean, when I look at this matchup with Georgia and Florida State, although I do fully understand why Florida State doesn't really want to put their all into this, you obviously have guys like Keon, Johnny, Jared, who are not going to play in this game.
Their entire team, dude.
Yeah, it's literally an entire team.
Their entire
thing
team.
That really got me, the thing that's getting me right now is Tate Rodemaker transferring this late into the transfer cycle. That, in my opinion, might be a little bit concerning to me. I don't know how you feel about that, but transferring that late when you're, I mean, he was going to play. Like, he had a concussion, obviously, but he was going to play. So what are you feeling about that?
I think that's kind of a signal for what's coming next year. I don't think he's the answer. It's got to be more to do with, I think they're adding somebody out of the portal. To be a third string, you start your first game against Louisville, and now you got to go up against a Georgia defense that's pretty pissed off, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I don't like this spot for Florida State. Everyone's talking about like if they go undefeated as a Power 5 team, they'll claim a national championship. Like, I guess that's just a Florida thing that people do. Like, even though you don't actually win a championship, you just say you did. Like, don't stoop to UCF's level. And you're not going to, because you're going to get the doors blown off you. I do have Georgia. I think I saw it up to minus 21.5 this morning. I might try to see if that goes down at all, because Georgia and big spreads has hurt me this year. But I think it was you that tweeted the picture yesterday of the two coaches, or earlier this week. Like, one of them doesn't want to be there. Kirby just looked pissed off.
Yeah.
And I don't think he wants to be there, but he's going to, I think he has the team to play. And you've seen that with the opt-outs Florida State has versus who Georgia has opting out, which is, I don't think anyone really.
Dude, the thing that's killing me right now, everybody has, on some of their, I guess betting analysis sites and all that jazz, they have Brock sitting out. He practiced yesterday in full pads. So obviously he's going top 10 in the draft. I don't think anybody can argue that. But I mean, for him to be playing, bro, it just tells you that this team really wants to run it back. Now, Brock's not stupid. He's obviously going to go to the draft this year. He's not coming back for a senior season. We know that. But in terms of taking this game,
he's transferring to Colorado. Didn't you see that?
Yeah. Who said that, by the way? I saw that yesterday. I was like, who the fuck said that?
Dude, message boards are some of the funniest places to be in college football offseason. It is hilarious what people concoct in their heads. And the fact that somebody had Brock Bowers opting out of the NFL draft, not going back to Georgia, transferring to Colorado. It's fan fiction, man. Like, your head's in the clouds. Give me whatever you're smoking, because it's got to be good.
Yeah, like, please stay off the weed, like Stephen A says. But I don't. No, that's not happening. Just for those who thought that was going to happen, it's not happening. So when I look at this matchup, I am really looking at Georgia to dominate. I mean, I don't even want to spend a lot of time on this game. As you can see, I think this is the biggest spread of bowl season. We got Oregon at minus 16.5 for the game with Liberty, which, we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, there's no reason to go super deep into this game. I got the dogs. As soon as I heard that, Rodemaker was transferring, I just took the dogs on the first half spread. It's minus 10. It's at minus 13 right now. I'm gonna be honest, Sam. I've been cocky a lot with my Georgia picks this year. I don't think they crossed the 50 in the first half, bro. I can't see it. Like, most of the defense is playing as well. We got a whole bunch of 5 stars on 5 stars on 5 stars. So I really do not see at all them getting any traction in this football game. I mean, what is a way that Florida State with their third string quarterback can, make any type of noise? Because I don't see them doing anything.
Yeah, I just locked in Georgia spread, dropped down to 21. It's a little bit more juice, but I'll still take like minus 118, minus 120. Georgia minus 12.5 on DraftKings first half. I think they could I absolutely think that could be 2 scores. And then Florida State team total under 10.5 for the game.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly, y'all. Okay. We've seen teams run the ball on Florida State with a full unit. So I can only imagine what's going to happen in that run game. And I do have the dogs on, like I said, the first half spread. But I'm also going to look at Kendall Milton again, and his rushing yards. Last game of his collegiate career. He's a senior this year. It's at 57.5, a little juiced up, minus 126. But Kirby loves his guys. All right. He loves his seniors. He's going to make sure they get off of, their Georgia tenures on the right foot. And I think they're going to run the shit out of the ball. I mean, once you're up by like 3 scores, then you're doing injury management. You're trying not to have those 8 to 9-month injuries. We got spring ball coming up here sooner than you think, in about 5 months. So get out of there, get the win, eat oranges, go enjoy Miami after. That's all we need to do. So we got that. Anything else on this one, bro? Or are we good?
We're good.
All right. Yeah, we're climbing up the mountain. And again, if you want to see your comments shown here on the stream, please join us over on YouTube. The link is under the tweet on Pay for Play page at Pay for Play. Now, the ReliaQuest Bowl out there in Raymond James Stadium. Too bad our Heisman winner, like you said, is not going to be playing in this one, but he deserves some time off, man. He's done his duty to the city and to the school. They're facing Wisconsin, which I'm kind of surprised Wisconsin was in this game, to be honest with you. They're a relatively good team, for the standards. I think due to the competition that LSU faced this year, I think that they're a better team than them, but obviously the losses to the schools they lost to affects what bowl game you're in. So we're going into this game against Wisconsin. The spread is at minus 10 for the Tigers. How are you feeling about this one, Sam? Because, I think this might be another wash.
It's Nuss Bus time, baby. It is time for the Nuss Bus. We have been waiting for this day for years. We saw a little glimpse of it in the SEC championship game last year. That my man's threw for 300 and a half. 1/2 against Georgia. I know it was garbage. It was kind of garbage time, but he got it within once, like a kind of close to a 1-score game. Like
2 tutties too, right?
Yeah, and Burrow-esque on one of them. Like,
oh my God!
What? Oh no! You can't say that didn't mimic a little bit of the play against Georgia that he had. I'm not saying he's Burrow by any stretch.
I got you.
But that you can't watch that. Yeah, you can't watch that and not think, oh, like that kid.
I've seen that kid.
I've seen that before. But I think Malik plays until he has 21 yards. I think he needs to be LSU's all-time leading receiver. I think he plays. He gets 2 catches for 25 yards, and then he's out. He's chilling for the rest of the game. You still got a great offensive line. I think this will be kind of an audition after Denbrock left. No love lost there, really. He's an older guy moving back home to I think he grew up in South Bend, so can't hate a guy for doing that. I don't think it's a huge loss. I think that his system is fine, but whenever you have Jaden Daniels and Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors there, it's going to look like, it's going to be the best offense in the country. Like, those guys are elite. And I don't know that Notre Dame has that, but I think I want Joe Sloan to kind of be the offensive coordinator going forward. I think he's a great up-and-coming coach, younger guy, and you need to keep him around. He's got you in the running for Bryce Underwood, number 1 overall prospect in 2025 class. So I think the offense is moving in the right direction. Just show me something on the defensive side. If what everyone's saying is there's not going to be really any change in defensive coordinator, which is a wild move if that's the case. It's infuriating that we haven't heard anything on any kind of changes yet. I trust Brian Kelly, but at the same time, I'm having a little internal panic attack because it's you can't just run it back. You can't. You saw what happened with Grinch and Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley staked his kind of reputation on Alex Grinch, and that bit him in the ass.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Matt House, we got to figure something out. But I think I don't know that Wisconsin's gonna. I'm sure they'll score some points. LSU overs have been a thing all year. If you want to look at the over a little bit, I don't exactly know who's opting out for them, if they have or what they have coming in. Is Braylon Allen even going to play in this one? I think he opted out.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, it feels a lot like the bowl game last year. Like Purdue didn't really have a whole lot coming in. Like all their really good players opted out, and LSU is kind of using these bowl games to get to the 10th win, which is important. You can have a 10-win season back-to-back years in your first 2 years as head coach. That's a great start, but you need to build this kind of like Ole Miss momentum going into next year. And this is a good place to start. Let's just take care of business. I'm LSU minus 9.5. I locked that in earlier, kind of whenever the opening line started. I know it's kind of hovering around 10 right now, so I'd still like LSU by double digits. But yeah, I don't see this being much of a game.
Yeah, me either. We don't have props out yet for this one, but I would take your boy Nuss on them passing yards, man. I'm a believer in what he can do. His decision making is the only thing that I'm scared of, but I think with time and experience, that's going to come. And
it's an exhibition. Who cares about the decision? Like,
yeah,
from a standpoint of I want to see it improve. Yes, like you want to see some better decision making, but whenever he's come in this year, they've been having him in the Jaden Daniels version of the offense, and that's not what we need. Like, I'm excited to see how the offense is kind of transformed into more fitted for Nuss, because like I think you see a little bit more of the receivers. Like LSU's loaded at receiver, and we've really only seen 3 throughout the entire year. I'm excited to see some of the younger guys play and just kind of build towards next year. It should be a good year if you can get the defensive side figured out. Like the offense is obviously going to regress, but I still think they can be a top 25 offense in the country.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll see next year what happens, but yeah, like we both said, this is an LSU spot. I don't think there's even a need to talk about anybody on the Wisconsin side. All right, so y'all have that. All right, like I said before, if you are on Twitter, please join us on YouTube if you want us to see your comments. We do want to see how y'all are feeling. It's time to get to the ones you've been waiting for, the big ones, the playoff. We'll start with Texas and Washington. That's the bigger spread, so we'll go ahead and cover that one first. Out of both of the games, I think this is going to be the better game. Obviously, it's going to be way more offensively inclined. I think Alabama and Michigan, which we'll talk about after this, is going to be more of a defensive battle in a way. But you got Texas. They're taking 4 points. Washington, a kind of underdog that I'm surprised by this level of I just think they've been good, bro. Like, even with the Oregon spread, we were just getting on Cornwall earlier in the show about, him taking Oregon -9. I don't think that there are many teams in all of college football that are 4+ points better than this Washington team. I really just don't. So, in my opinion, I think Washington wins. Okay. I think while Texas's D-line is elite, not going to say that Sweat is a scrub or anything like that. But I do think their DBs can be had. And Rome is a legit NFL wide receiver. Jalen McMillan is a legit NFL wide receiver. Michael Penix, he's had time to rest up. We've had some nagging injuries going on late in the season. He's had, obviously, 3 weeks to get over those. So I'm taking Washington, all right, on the spread as well as the money line on Monday. It's +150. And for a 4-point spread, I think that's a good look. I don't know. How you feeling?
I'm scared to say I'm feeling the same way. But we saw it in the Oregon game, dude. Like, Washington has found a way to win games, and exactly to your point of why I feel this way, I think Texas ranks 93rd or something pass defense wise.
Ew.
Against these receivers, dude. That's not over. is where I'm feeling. Give me the over, and I'm on Washington spread. I'm not to money line yet, but I think this is going to be an incredible back and forth game. I think Texas is going to get their points as well. We've seen what good offenses like. I think it kind of lines up similar to Oregon, but I just think in the end, I'd rather have those receivers against Texas defense as opposed to like giving Kalen DeBoer this much time to kind of figure out a way to stop Texas's offense. I love him as a head coach. I think he's an up and coming star in the coaching ranks, and I think if you're an SEC person who's not Alabama or Texas, you want Washington to win.
Yeah,
because like, yeah, I don't want to hear Big Ten people talking about like Michigan finally getting it done and all that. Like, the Big Ten people are going to come out of the woodwork and do the same thing they claim SEC fans do if Michigan wins. Maybe not Ohio State fans, but all these Big Ten people, like we've seen in our like college football group chat that we've had all throughout the season, like Big's coming, the Big's coming. Like, no, it's not. But if Washington wins, it's a Pac-12 team that's coming in. They're really no threat to like any SEC team recruiting wise or any of that stuff. So if you're an SEC fan that's kind of looking for a rooting interest, I think Washington needs to be the team, and they're a fun team to watch. They've figured out a way to win all year, and I think the receivers against Texas DBs is the matchup that's going to be the deciding factor in this one, and it's a little bit too lopsided for me to look away from it.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope they don't, because of that, totally get away from the run game. I think their offensive line really answered the call in the Pac-12 championship against Oregon. Them saying that they're going to get dominated by Oregon's D-line or whatever. Like, I hope they don't get away from the run game, because I do think in spots they can gash them a little bit. I wouldn't just spam runs up the middle because, like I said, like Sweat is he a big boy. He's big, but he's not fat. Like, he's like just a mass of a human being. So you're going to have to get him out the way. But I think their edges can be had. And again, like I think this offense with Washington, if you look at all four of these teams, I think Washington clearly has the best offense. I don't think that's even a debate, in my opinion. But
I don't get why they're so undervalued. Like, they've been undervalued really since beating Oregon. Like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They have the TCU quality of finding a way to win every game that they played this year.
It's Pac-12. That's the only like logical explanation that I have. Like, it's just the Pac-12. Like, I think a lot of these Pac-12 teams aren't taken serious just because of how bad the defenses are. We saw them slip against teams who, were inferior to them late on in the season. But I mean, look what Arizona just did in their bowl game, man. Like, these teams are pretty good, bro. They deserve some respect. Like, once you do it against some of these teams outside of your conference, you got to have some respect. So, yeah, I'm with Washington, bro. I think they win this game. Like, I'm with it. I've never been more confident. So, You got anything else on this one? All right. Now, for the big one. Me and Sam's personal favorite two teams to hate on. One is number one. It will always be number one until that old man retires. All right. We'll always hate on them.
Michigan. Long beyond that.
Oh, yeah. Long beyond that. I think I hate on Jim Harbaugh, but I hate more on Michigan fans. Sorry, Jake. But when I look at this matchup, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I think that Michigan will be able to do some things, but they ain't going to be able to do everything. Okay. And if the same Alabama team shows up that showed up in Atlanta 3 weeks ago, it's curtains. They finna win, and they finna win by more than a touchdown. Okay. I think this is a defense that Michigan hasn't seen all year, obviously. Penn State has a good defense. Ohio State has a good defense as well, but we saw Mizzou be able to have success against that defense. We obviously know that, Jace McClellan is going to be back. Jalen Milroe is looking like he's figuring it out. He starts games, kind of shaky, and then he comes into his own later on in the game. Caleb Downs is one of the best young players that I've seen in some time. That boy is for real. So, Sam, I'm sorry to break your heart. I got the Tide. I got Blitz, Bama Blitz, whatever Roll Tide Willie says, take it. I got the Tide on the spread. I got it at plus 120. Like, I got that on the 3rd of December. So I'm just rolling with the Tide, man. How about you, bro?
It's painful. I already told you how I'm going. I'm hate betting Alabama spread because there's just no way I sit there and watch this game. I don't want to cheer for Michigan either. I hate Michigan. Like, their fans have acted like they're the class of college football whenever their only national championship they've won, like post World War II, is a split national championship in 1997.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we talking about? Why are you all acting like you're the class of college football?
Brady. That's it. No, that's really
it. They ran him
out. And even he wasn't Brady at Michigan. He was good, but he wasn't Brady.
No. I mean, like, I think if you're Michigan, you have to kind of live with Jalen Milroe checking it down. You can't let him get over the top.
No.
Because he's going to make a mistake. Like we saw against Auburn, like, this is such a Jekyll and Hyde quarterback. Like, he has games where he looks incredible. And then a game where he literally throws the ball beyond the line of scrimmage twice. Like, I'm not forgetting about that because I've listened to a lot of like college football talk over the last month about how Alabama has looked over the last month of the season. How they've, like, is everyone forgetting about the Auburn game? Like, they should have lost that game. They found a way to win. Congratulations. Like, whoop-de-fucking-do. You beat an Auburn team that is awful. Like, can't throw a forward pass. And yet they were seconds away. Mm-hmm. You catch the punt. Just catch the punt and you win the game.
Jesus Christ, man.
Just catch the punt and you win the game. Like, that. They were that close to losing this, and for me, it is, you have to go with the lesser of two evils. Like, I don't know if Alabama's going to win, but if they do, I'm going to profit off of it, and I'm going to be pissed off, but at least my bank account will be better for it. And, I mean, Saban versus Harbaugh, like, the stage is set. Like, they used to have these beefs back whenever, like, Harbaugh was doing, like, the satellite camps, and now finally we get to see it in action. These two guys going head to head. I think it's going to be a great game. Like, the Rose Bowl usually never disappoints, and to have these two teams in it going into or for a spot in the national championship, it's going to be awesome. I love the Rose Bowl. Like, it's probably my favorite game of the year every year.
Oh, yeah.
The set or the shot going into the fourth quarter with the sunset over the mountains, like, it is going to be incredible. And I think this game is close. I think it's back and forth a little bit. Like a 27-24 game would be incredible. I don't know if it's going to be as high. It's not going to be as high scoring as Texas and Washington will be later in the day, but it's going to be great college football, like two elite programs going at it. And I think the trench battle is going to come down to it. And I don't know if Alabama's offensive line has improved enough to have me believe it, but like I said, I just have to hate bet Alabama. Like, that's the only play for me. Like, I cannot bet against them and lose in my heart and monetarily.
Yeah, bro. I agree with you. And I mean, this is the thing. We've only seen it over these college football playoffs that Alabama has been in. We've only seen Nick's kryptonite be able to beat him, and that's the guy who's on the Big Noon Kickoff in Fox. All right, he's not coaching. He's not in this playoff. It's the only guy who can figure out how to beat Saban. Other than that, it's not happening, bro. It's just not happening. So I hate to be narrative, man, but I mean, come on, bro. Like, let's be honest. Now, in terms of props, I'm looking at both quarterbacks to hit the rushing prop. JJ's is only at 13.5, which I kind of like. I think that obviously Dallas Turner is going to be out for blood against him. Michigan does have a good offensive line, but they do rotate a lot.
We know there's probably a bounty on that. So.
Oh yeah, you know that, and they're gonna blitz the fuck out of him. Okay, like they're gonna load the box. Obviously, gonna dare them to pass the ball, and when he does pass the ball, that blitz is coming. All right, so I would like JJ's rushing prop at 13.5. I also do like Jalen Milroe's prop. I think Michigan's DBs might be a little bit better than people expect, even though, like you said, they're going to want him to check down. His rushing prop is at 33.5 and -115. So I like both of those, to be honest with you. And I mean, in terms of just a receiver, I hate to do it, but I think Benedict Arnold might get off.
Don't do it.
I think he might get off, bro.
No.
He might, bro. He might. And I don't want to say it either because he sucks. Okay? He stinks. All right? Jermaine Burton is the worst person in the world. But he might get off, bro. I don't know. I'm scared. But that would only be a lean for me. His receiving prop is at 53.5. So
I'd look more at Bond, personally.
Yeah, Bond's going to be good too. His is at, let me get that for y'all. His is at 49.5 at -115, which is a good number as well. So, yeah, I think either of those, depending on what you want to take, Harbaugh's going to, like you said, he doesn't want the bombs to go off. He wants Jalen to earn everything on that field. So, yeah, it is what it is. I hate this. I hate that we're betting on Alabama, but
our money. It's the only play.
I know. Fuck, man. Whatever. All right, whatever. Anyway, anything else on this game?
I mean, I obviously have personal interest in this one because of all the fucking asinine rumors that have been started about BK. If Harbaugh goes to the NFL, I don't know where they come from or why you would leave LSU for Michigan. Like, why am I going through this again? It's already happened once. Like the "Have a great day" line. That was like. Why do we have to do this again?
I don't get it either, bro. But
I honestly think Harbaugh goes to the NFL after this year.
Oh yeah,
I've been saying it since like all the NCAA stuff has come out. Like the NCAA is not dropping this.
No,
and like that 3-game suspension where he just wasn't there on game days was kind of bullshit. So
yeah,
I don't know. I have an interest in it for that, but like. In terms of like betting wise, no, I don't have anything else for this game.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Our last show of the year. Please, please, please subscribe and like on YouTube. Please retweet this video so anybody watching it can watch the playback. Get that first Penn State or Ole Miss bet in that you need. Please, again, follow us and subscribe. We're giving away $100 when we get to 1,000 followers, but you got to be subscribed to our YouTube and you got to be following us on Twitter. All right. So for Sam, for me, thank y'all so much for supporting and the love that we've gotten over this year. We greatly appreciate it. We love this shit. So we do it for y'all.
Got to do a show for the Natty, right?
Oh, yeah. We're doing a show for the Natty, by the way. Like, this is just for last year. The last show of the season
2023
will be on what? I guess it's on Monday, so maybe that's Saturday. All right. So until then, we'll holla at y'all later, man. Peace.